Alif-Lam-Meem. 2. This is the book, the Qur'an, whereof there is no doubt, a guidance to those who are the pious and righteous persons. 3. Who believe in the non-visible and perform the prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them. 4. And who believe in the Qur'an which has been sent down, revealed to you, Muhammad, peace be upon him, and in the Torah and the Gospel, which were sent down before you, and they believe with certainty in the Hereafter. 5. They are on true guidance from their Lord, and they are the successful.
All right, let's dive into one of the most foundational texts in the world, the Qur'an. We're going to zoom in on the first 5 verses of its longest chapter, Al-Baqarah. And what's amazing is that these verses lay out a complete blueprint, not just for faith, but for psychological resilience and what it truly means to be successful. So let's break down how this blueprint is put together.
So the chapter kicks off with something really unusual. Not a word, but 3 separate letters, Alif-Lam-Meem. They're pronounced one by one, and right away that tells you you're dealing with a totally unique form of communication. This isn't just data to be downloaded, it's a divine message, and it starts with a genuine mystery.
So, what on earth does it mean? Is it some kind of code, a symbol? This immediately throws a question at us. Are we about to get a straightforward set of instructions, or are we being invited to think about something that's bigger than human language itself? And what the text seems to suggest is that the answer is, well, it's both.
So to see how that works, we're going to follow the exact blueprint these verses lay out. We'll start with that mysterious intro, then figure out who this guidance is actually for. We'll explore their beliefs and actions, see what the ultimate reward is, and then wrap it all up with a modern psychological take on the whole thing. Okay, first up, that mysterious introduction in verse 1. These letters, they do way more than just kick off the chapter. They really set the entire stage for everything that comes after.
These are known as the huruf al-muqatta'at, the isolated letters. Now, the traditional understanding is that their true, deep meaning is known only to God. And what's so powerful about that is the statement it makes right from the get-go. It's like God is saying, look, this book is made from the very same letters you use every single day. But go ahead, try to make something like this. You can't. It immediately draws a line in the sand between human ability and divine power.
So moving from that deep mystery to a clear mission, the second verse cuts right to the chase. It makes this bold declaration about the book's purpose and who it's for. This is the book in which there is no doubt, a guide for the God-fearing. Wow, what a powerful statement. Think about it. In our world of information overload, fake news, constant anxiety, the phrase no doubt is presented as solid ground. It's like a direct medicine for that psychological stress we all feel. But notice, it says it's a guide for a specific group of people.
So that begs the question, right? Who exactly are the God-fearing? The text doesn't just leave that hanging as some abstract idea. Nope, it spends the next few verses building a really detailed profile of who these people are. The term is al-Muttaqin, and they're people who have taqwa. Now, fear of God is a common translation, but it's more like a deep, profound consciousness of God. It's an awareness that acts like an internal compass, constantly guiding you toward good and away from harm. So the Qur'an is basically saying, hey, my guidance works best for those whose hearts are already open and ready to receive it.
So what's the very first quality of these people? Well, the blueprint says it all starts with their internal worldview, this foundational belief in a reality that you can't necessarily see with your own 2 eyes. They believe in the Ghayb, which means the unseen. This covers realities that are just beyond our 5 senses. Things like God himself, angels, the afterlife, you name it. And this isn't presented as, just blind faith. It's about trusting in a source of knowledge, divine revelation, that can tell us about things that science can't measure. It's accepting that the world we can physically touch and see isn't the whole picture.
And this next part is absolutely key. It shows that belief is never just a passive thought you have in your head. According to this blueprint, that internal belief has to be translated into real, tangible actions. Let's see how the text builds that bridge from conviction to practice.
The verse points out 2 main actions. First, they establish prayer, and the word choice there, establish, is so important. It doesn't just mean to perform a ritual, it means to build it into the foundation of your life, to maintain it with focus and heart. It's the discipline that keeps that connection to the Creator strong. And second, they give from what we have provided them. And this covers every kind of charity.
Now, what's so fascinating is the psychological effect that giving is said to have. Islamic scholars often talk about charity as a direct cure for things like selfishness, greed, and being too attached to material wealth. When you give, you're not just helping someone else. You're purifying your own soul. You're helping create social balance, and you're admitting a fundamental truth, that whatever you have isn't really yours anyway. It's a gift from a higher power.
The next verse adds a few more layers to this profile. The God-fearing don't just believe in the Qur'an, they believe in the whole chain of divine messages that came before it. And, this is huge, they have yaqeen, or absolute certainty in the afterlife. Psychologically, that kind of certainty is a game changer. That conviction that you'll be held accountable for your actions gives you a powerful moral framework and a deep sense of purpose, especially in a world that can feel pretty random and meaningless.
Okay, so we've defined the mindset, the beliefs, and the actions. Now, the final verse of this blueprint reveals the destination, the ultimate reward for anyone who actually follows this path. Those are upon guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are the successful. I love the phrase, upon guidance. It suggests that guidance isn't just something you learn, but it's a state you're in. It's a path that God puts you on because of your efforts, and that path leads to one single thing: success.
But the word used here for success, falah, is so much bigger than what we usually think of. It's not about money or fame. Falah is a total, holistic success. It means well-being, growth, and peace in this life, plus salvation and the ultimate reward in the next life. It's the complete package, the absolute definition of a life well lived.
Now let's just step back for a second and pull all of this together. When you look at these 5 verses as one whole system, what you see is this deeply integrated psychological roadmap designed for human flourishing.
So here's the synthesis. Psychologically, it all comes down to a clear choice between a mindset of openness and a closed-off heart. Socially, it's this powerful statement that real faith is never just a private feeling. It has to show up in the community through shared actions like prayer and charity. And philosophically, it positions the unseen not as something irrational, but as a dimension of reality that revelation is uniquely equipped to describe.
And all this leaves us with a final, really powerful question. These first 5 verses have meticulously laid out the path to success. So if this is the blueprint for guidance, then what's the blueprint for misguidance? What does the other side of the coin look like? Well, that's exactly what the verses that come next start to explain. But it all starts with understanding this foundation first.